These people actually believed they could run you away, run you off from your job, from your business, from your school, from your class with their bullying and intimidation. These people try to run you off your job, try to run you out your business, try to run you out your class, all because your presence make them feel very jealous, very envious, and they are intimidated themselves. So because they are intimidated by your presence, they try to run you away. When people get so jealous, so envious, so irritated with your presence that they try to run you away from your job, try to run you away from your opportunity, those people have to understand that you are not the person to play with. When it comes to dealing with bullies, if you're dealing with a group of bullies, you're dealing with a group of people who are trying to run you away because that's their goal. They want you to run away. In that moment, you have to understand that's when you stand more firm than ever. That's when you tap into your confidence as a woman. I understand that sometimes certain situations, certain environments might cause you to leave. Under certain circumstances, you might not feel safe and there's no other option but to leave. But unfortunately, bullies, oftentimes, that is their goal. That is their goal, to get you to run away. And if you're always running away from people who try to intimidate you, somehow you give them the upper hand. So instead of running away and giving into your bullies, as a woman, this is what you can do. Number one, from a mental perspective, understand that only people who are jealous, envious, and or threatened by you will try to make you run away. Because people, especially women, when women get jealous of other women, when women envy other women, they often feel intimidated by their presence, and they'll feel more comfortable if you're not there. The best way to get back at your enemy, to get back at your bully, is to make your presence known and to get them comfortable being uncomfortable in your presence. See, a woman who is confident, assertive, or maybe you're not that assertive. Let's say that. Maybe you're confident, but you're quiet, especially in the workplace. Let's say you're a quiet woman. You don't really think along those lines because you come there to do your job and go home. But unfortunately, the workplace seems to be the perfect environment for people, especially other women, who are jealous, intimidated, or threatened by other women to gather together in groups and take out their aggression on the woman or the object of their jealousy and envy. They feel like if they can put enough tension, they can put enough bad energy, they can put enough negativity into the atmosphere that will get you to run away. And oftentimes that is their mission. For me, I always encourage women to go into environments where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe, where people are not causing you so much mental and sometimes even physical harm. But don't misunderstand. Running away from a woman who tries to walk around with her chest puffed up as if she is somebody trying to intimidate you, unless it gets physical, you do not run from those kind of people. If you give in to women who have bully energy, you are giving them the upper hand. So the number one thing you do is that you walk confidently regardless. Number two, you have to understand that they are the intimidated ones. They are the ones who feel insecure and threatened by you. And because of it, you cannot give into their hand. You have to understand when a woman feels threatened by another woman, so much so that she's trying to run you off, that your presence is actually making her feel uncomfortable, not because of anything you did, but just simply because of the kind of woman you are. That should make you want to stay in that environment even more, because you know you have the right to be there. You see, women who are intimidated, jealous, and try to bully other women out of their spot, out of their position, out of where they are, these women typically understand that you have something over them that they do not have. At least that's the way they perceive it. They might perceive your personality as better than theirs. They might perceive your looks as better than theirs. They might perceive other people's perception of you as better than how other people perceive them. There's nothing worse for a woman who is jealous and intimidated by another woman, so much so that she's trying to run you off. There's nothing worse for her than to see other people liking you, loving on you, helping you, and being there to assist you. Women who want to run you out of your spot, who want you to run away from your job, it's often because they do not like that other people like you. They do not like the influence and the impact that you make in that environment. And because of that, they find it their job to run you away. You do not run. As a woman, you have to understand that you are just as valuable as the next person. And if that position, if that job means something to you, you stay there, and that woman just has to get comfortable with being uncomfortable with your presence. Now, I have a subscriber, a commenter, who emailed me saying that, something to the effect, because the comment was very long, so I read it, but it was actually, I just skimmed through it. She said that the people who are bullying her, they actually hang together outside of work. There's nothing worse than being around people who are not bullies just in the workplace, but because they know each other outside of the job, sometimes it can feel as if somehow they are gang stalking you, as if they are plotting against you, as if somehow they are always working to come against you, even outside of work hours. And this does not just apply to the workplace. This could be in life in general. As I've said in previous videos, women who are often bullies and easily threatened and intimidated by other women, they like to operate in packs. They like to operate in groups because that gives them more power, because alone they have none, or at least they believe that gives them more power. Bullies, envious, jealous women who like to come against other women and try to run them away, they have no power. Please understand that. Women who get together in groups to intimidate and challenge other women just because they are intimidated and threatened by her, they have no power. And when you understand that, you have no fear of them. And then, ladies, I understand as far as jobs, that's attached to your money, your business, and what have you. But you have to understand that just like you got that job, you can get another one. You're not limited. And just like you are there in that workplace, that woman, she's trying to run you out. You have that same power. I have witnessed firsthand from my own experience and the experience of others that when you maintain that confidence, that assertiveness in the workplace or in your environment, when a woman realizes that her little intimidation tactics, her little bullying tactics, when the group realizes that their bullying and group think and the way they're trying to operate in a pact against you is not affecting you, that you are still moving confidently, that you're still talking and smoozing with everybody in the office, if you're still showing up to the events, if you're still showing up to the parties or what have you, and you could care less about them being there, oftentimes that causes them to back up. And as a woman, another thing you must do is that you have to play them at their own game. What I mean by that is not to be bullies, to not use those same kind of intimidation tactics. But if you are a woman who has influence, you have that kind of personality that people like, that you are magnetic in that way where people are drawn to you, because oftentimes those are the very things that make women want to run you out of the workplace. It's because they don't like that other people like you, and they don't like that you're likable. And don't be a cute, beautiful woman. That is going to even be more issue. But you have to know how to use that to your advantage. You have to know, okay, I'm not bothering her, and yet her and these other people are always trying to gang up on me. They're always, talking about me. I'm always hearing that they're saying little negative things about me. I always look over and they're staring at me. You have to use those things to your benefit. So if you know that you are that girl, because if people you don't know find you that interesting, where they have to get together and strategize and plot on how they're going to run you out of the environment, you are that girl. that means you're making such of an impact. You're so valuable in that spot, in that position, and they know it, because women only come after other women who pose a threat to them. And if you pose a threat to another human being, so much so that they want to run you out the environment, you are that girl. And you understanding and knowing that, that's when your confidence should be amplified. And then I say that to say, use the fact that other people like you to your advantage. In the workplace especially, you don't want them to think that you are by yourself. You might be by yourself. You might not have a whole lot of friends or people you're extremely close to in the workplace. You might not associate with coworkers outside of the workplace, outside of your school hours, whatever. But you want to give the perception that you have a group of people around you. Even with your family and how you associate, you might not have a whole big gang of friends. You might not have a whole bunch of women around you. But to bullies in the workplace and other people you're around, you never want to give the perception that you are alone. Because somehow, even though I believe, even if you're alone, you're powerful, with God, you're never alone. I must say that. But to bullies, especially women who like to gang up on other women to run them away from their workplace, from their spot, from their environment, they always like to, how can I say, pick on the one who appears to be alone. So you want to give the impression that you're not by yourself. Be it you're involved in something outside of work. Maybe you want to mention that to people you actually talk to, or even the people that you're in the environment with, the ones that you can tolerate. Start talking to those people. Start mingling more with your boss. You know, if you have a likable boss. This woman actually brought up the fact that they're friends with the CEO. Who cares? Just because they're friends with the CEO. And once again, and I think maybe I might be different in that way, and I understand the time we're living in where people are like looking at these jobs as, you know, job is security, and it is. But as I've said before, I don't care what it is. Maybe I'm just different. Respect is respect, and bullying will never be tolerated. I don't care if it's attached to my money. I don't care about any of that. It's like, you're not going to play with me. And I think if more women understood and adopted that mentality, that fear would leave you, and you would start operating as a woman who understands that she's valuable and worthy of respect, even in the workplace, even when your money is attached to something. Me and my daughter just went to see Jurassic World Rebirth. That movie was very good. I'm not going to give any details, but I'll give you this one scene where they were searching for the dinosaurs. And there's a point to this. Believe me, there's a point. They were searching on their way to go get the dinosaurs so they can get the medicine, what have you. And they found out on the radio that there were some people stranded. This guy that they were on mission with, he was paying them upwards of $10 million to go on this mission, but he wanted to deviate so he can save these people. The guy was giving them $10 million, but because the guy's morality and what he wanted to do was more important, he said, I need to go save these people first, and then we'll go on mission. He said, this is my mission, I'm paying you. And he said, this is my boat. So the point that he was making, yeah, you're paying me, but you can't do anything unless I take you. This is my boat. As ladies, as women, you have to have that mentality like, yeah, this is my money. I work here. I like this job. I appreciate this job. But you're not going to bully me. You're not going to intimidate me. And I'm not going to leave every time somebody starts giving me a hard time unless it becomes absolutely unbearable. And when I say unbearable, I mean like you feel like you are in harm's way. Ladies, these little words that bullies use, group bullies, they like to once again put that negativity, that negative tension in the air. Most of the time, women who are bullies and jealous of other women, I just have to be completely real with you. They will never, if ever, try to get into a physical altercation with you. They will almost never try to confront you one-on-one because in all actuality, they are cowards. They don't want that kind of attention from you. They just want to create the illusion to make you feel uncomfortable enough to leave. A lot of times, as the old folks used to say back in the day, they are all bark and no bite. especially those ones in the workplace. And then even in your everyday life, if you're dealing with toxic, jealous, envious family members who try to intimidate you, jealous, toxic, classmates, or people who you might even call friend, and you notice that they're starting to shift, they're starting to turn on you and treat you a little bit funny. Now suddenly they don't want you at the same events that they're at. Suddenly they don't even invite you to the same things they're going to. At one point they would. When a woman starts trying to exclude you and get you to not be a part of whatever it is they're doing, you have to understand that's when you even, make your presence known even more, in my opinion. My goodness, why is this music so loud? That's when you have to make your presence. I'm sorry, I live in the city. That's when you have to make your presence known even more. As a woman, don't allow women with their intimidation tactics, with their bullying, with their group bullying, because women who are intimidated by others, jealous of other women, and like to make them feel some kind of way, they almost always like to operate in packs. And do you know why they do this? Let me sip some of my water. They do this because they're hoping if enough cowards get together, it'll make you feel some kind of way. Now, ladies, if you feel threatened, if you feel like you are in harm's way, I'm not saying just stay there and take it. But I'm talking about women who try to be catty and get together and act like they're coming against you. You have to be mentally strong enough to understand that a lot of times those women, if there's a group of women trying to gang up against one woman, that says a lot about the kind of woman you are, that they would take their time, their energy, maybe even risk their life to come against one specific woman. Bullies really have no rhyme or reason as to why they do the things they do, other than the fact that your presence makes them uncomfortable, they're jealous of you, they're envious of you, and they hope that you will feel their tension and leave. And from my opinion, you should not give them what they want if it is not a situation where you feel like you are in harm's way. And if you do feel like your only option is to leave, do that. Don't ever feel like you have to put yourself in harm's way to prove how tough you are. But sometimes with women who like to operate in these groups and be bullies, sometimes you have to put your big girl pants on and show them that you are not going to be easily intimidated or ran away, especially when it's something you want to do. If you have worked at a job for as many years as you have worked, or you all have been in a job at the same length of time, you're seeing the benefit, it's your livelihood, you enjoy it. Don't let some toxic, negative energy bully, some jealous woman who's intimidated by your presence, cause you to run away. If anything, she has to just get used to you being there. And even in your personal life, you might have some jealous family members, somebody you're in a relationship with and his family doesn't like you. If you've done nothing to make those people not like you, they just have to get used to you being around. If your presence makes them feel intimidated or uncomfortable, that should signal to them that they need to work on themselves. But like many insecure, jealous, envious women, they'd rather you go away than for them to work on themselves. Do not give them what they want unless you feel like you are really and generally in harm's way. When these people want you to run away, and this video is about how bullies use intimidation and group bullying, group think, to try to get you to run away. Don't give them what they want. Stand, as they say, 10 toes down. Stand in your confidence and your value as a woman, and understand that you deserve to be there just as much as they are there. And don't cause them to let you or make you run away. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.